Hi there, and welcome back to History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to continue Volume 16, Episode 3 of my Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac Scrapbooks, and we're continuing on with Trouble in Shangri-La. And I want to start out with the video that I have coming up, or this one here. I don't think I had anything, I don't think I pulled this out. I wasn't sure if I did during my tour books and press kits, etc. of this. And it's so funny because it got brought up recently on a page that I'm on. This was a really unique little booklet that came out with Trouble in Shangri-La. And it's really pretty because the front and back cover are vellum paper, kind of see-through nice paper. It's very pretty. Can you see through it here? And then inside is not quite cardstock, but a little bit thicker. And it's just the lyrics to the songs. It's like the inside of the booklet of the CD or something like that, but just all the songs. Nowhere in here does it say it's a promotional item. I don't even know. I think I got mine on eBay. I'm pretty sure. I don't have no idea where these were handed out or given out or anything like that. It wasn't like a purchase to my knowledge. Purchase was purchase or a gift or anything like that. But like I said, it just has all the lyrics and, all the info, again, who it was written by and recorded and what have you. Just a really neat little piece. And again, I just don't recall having brought it out during my tour books and such. Sometimes it gets kind of buried in there because it's smaller. But yeah, nowhere does it say promo or anything. So I don't know. Somebody had some available, and it's funny because it's been a hot minute since I've seen any. The problem with the vellum paper is you see that it just, that's kind of what vellum paper does. If it gets a little wet or moist or anything like that, or just over time, it does that. But it's still in great shape. Just a really neat little item to go with I kind of thought about scrapbooking it just to kind of keep it flat and in there. But it stays with everything. You can see it's about half the page of, where's one of my things that I've done here. You can kind of see the size. So these are 11 by 14. So yeah, anyway, so there's that. So it's kind of cool. Moving on. How are you today? These are some neat pictures it's funny, these came out, and I'm not going to lie, I think I kind of right-clicked a lot of this stuff, but then I met somebody who had them, and I got them in a much better version. And I want to say that some of these I have in duplicate later. Maybe not. Anyway, we'll start with these ones here. So these ones were ones, like I said, I had right-clicked, and now these are 5 by 5 maybe. And, but then I got the real deal, just kind of put them together like this. I don't know which dog this is, to be honest with you. Could be, I don't know, Solomith maybe? So dang cute, though. I'll tell the story again later, but in 2006, 2007, we were at the 4 days of Stevie Nicks at Caesar's Palace, and the friend that I had, which is going to be, again, part of the story later. Sorry, I'm going to tell this early. But anyway, we had gone and we got some gifts for Sharon and some other stuff. But anyway, we all got together and we all pulled our money and we found this freaking adorable, kind of like a carpet bag, kind of like an old lady's, kind of big travel bag. But, it's kind of like almost like couch fabric or something, whatever that would be, but embroidered and beaded all over. It was a dog that looked just like this dog. And we did find out that Sharon was able to get it to Stevie and that she freaking loved it. It would be so cool if I found a picture of that. And somewhere I know that we copied the note and took a picture of the item, but I don't think I have that stuff anymore, the note that we all wrote to her and stuff. But every time I see her with Yorkie, I just think of that bag. And if I had the money then, it was not cheap. And it's because it was in Vegas, you know what I mean? But if I could have, I would have gone back and got my own because it's just so damn cute. Just always think of her little dogs then. But maybe I'll find it by the time I get to that point. It's not in my books right now, but it could be in this box for all I damn know. This was some stuff I mentioned, Rob and Michelle Cohen. And I'm confident this was from the era. And this was a picture of them. Again, love when Stevie and Sharon used to share the mic like that. But you see the nice little embossed and shiny name down here. Can you see that? Well, what is up with my lighting today? This week. It's all been problematic. This one, I don't think I took it. I don't think so. Because just the date. I saw so many dates on this. Well, I saw 2 in the Bay Area, but then I don't think that's mine. But it's a great picture. 12601. Maybe that was the K-Fog show. Or was that 2002? We'll get to it. Who cares? Singer Stevie Nicks made a surprise appearance on stage during Sheryl Crow's sold-out concert Wednesday night at Union Hall. The Scottsdale resident appeared during Crow's first encore. Nicks, who was wearing a flowing burgundy dress, sang in harmony with the Grammy award-winning Crow to Strong Enough. And that was a cool little picture from the paper. This is a duplicate article, probably. This was a really great full-page ad that came out in like Billboard magazine, I want to say. Kind of like the one I'd shown earlier of Planets of the Universe. Then this was just a whole bunch of stuff. I think this is Stevie and Sheryl. I think all these are the Blockbuster Awards. Now, see, funny enough, I have a ton of photos from this time, and I know for a fact they're not in the book. When I was kind of going through the pages, I don't know where they're at. I have 8x10s, 4x6s, all sorts of stuff. So cute, her little head there, floating head. Gemini, if you have any astrology savvy pals, they should understand that when the ruler of your 8th house, it's existential here, becomes stationary in your sign, you are frozen with anxiety and in no shape to communicate. And it goes on and on, but being Stevie's a Gemini, it's kind of cute. Obviously, also an unenthusiastic page made eons ago, as you can tell, just with the white spots and nothing behind it. It's okay. I harp on myself because nobody else will. Another fabulous article from the pink section, the date book, and I put this all backwards. Whatever. So it starts here and then goes over here, so it's on the wrong side, but it's okay. And this is probably her review. This is probably her at... It does not say. Nicks goes solo again on New Shangri-La. So it's for the San Francisco Chronicle. So maybe it's just a release prior of the album, not her show. This one is from the Mercury News, and this is talking about her being... So again, it wouldn't be... I don't know. But I love the live photo. Because this is talking about where it's at and such. So it doesn't seem like it's a review of the show yet, because it was where Shoreline, and Shoreline was before Concord. So yeah, this is just an article about her. I like this little picture too. And I think this is the time when you can't really see, you can almost see it here in that picture. When Stevie's wearing those little, I think I brought that up before, I think they're called bendies, but she's wearing the little... I never did that at a show. I kind of always wanted to. Of course, that came and went like that in style. But it's still really cool when Stevie was doing it. These were great pictures that came in an article in Spin, possibly, or Details magazine, maybe Details, when it went to a larger format. This was in the article. This was in another part in it, and I think this was like with, we call it in the beginning where it tells you what page stuff is on, the index. Why do I have a problem with words all the time? But I just like that they all kind of went together, that they all had, pictures from this one photo session. And I think later, which I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I have these that go with that one. So this one looks to be this one, and then this one looks to be this one, sorta. And then this one is that one, but these are real photographs instead of the article pictures. And I just also remember Stevie and everybody going, like this. We've all seen her wear pants. We've seen her wear jeans, but she was like having it. She was like totally down for wearing, jeans and stuff, jeans and these snakeskin pants. Well, not jeans, but velvet pants and these snakeskin pants, which was phenomenal. And I do believe that this picture is actually different than this one, just by her hand placement. Oh, it's this one. I'm sorry. So this one is, I still think this one is different here. Yeah, the feathers are more over her. Yeah, so that one's different. So that's cool. So it looks like there's one. This one and this one are outtakes. So I kind of jumped ahead there. So then I'll end instead with this page here and show that one next time. This reminds me of a print that of a photo she does later with the kind of side profiles that she did with Dave Grohl, Danny Cinch, Cinch. I think those kind of look like his pictures. They're not, obviously, but they just kind of remind me of that style. I'm not sure who took these ones. Actually, I'm not sure at all. I'm not sure who took. Oh, these photos are by Albert. You know what? I don't know anything, and I'm pretty versed on photographers, but Albert Sanchez, I've never actually done any research. Amazing photos, though. I'll have to do a little bit more research. That'd be cool to find. I don't know why. Usually I kind of I look it up but funny story, I do remember when this came out, I'm pretty sure it was this one, and I might have told the story before and I'll end. I promise I won't go in too long, but when this article came out, there was a comment in this or another magazine, and Margie had made her, her costumer and clothing designer, I should say, had made a comment that somebody had gotten some information incorrect. And it added, Margie Kent and her address and stuff like that. Well, me, having balls of steel that day, decided I'm going to call her. I'm just going to call her and be like, hey, what's up? Like we go way back. She answered the phone, which I about lost my, what. And she talked to me for like 30, 40 minutes. I kid you not. Giving me information precisely about where Stevie was going to be. And what was funny is that I had said to her, I said, I'm going to be in Los Angeles soon. And she's like, oh, well, if you're here at this time and such like that, you should come here because this is where Stevie will be. And I'm like, you're giving me like valuable information. And I wanted to hang up the phone and get in the car and go, but I could not. But she was so nice, and she wasn't being sarcastic. She was being, no such thing. She was really nice and conversational. And as it was, I was going to LA, but it was going to be like another 2-3 weeks maybe. And the information she was giving me was like for a week later. Stevie was going to be stopping by the shop for fittings and this and that. And if you're in town and stuff, I mean, legit. And I was losing my freaking mind. When we got to LA, we tried to go by her place, and it's in a building. It's not just like everything's in a building, right? But I mean, like a couple stores, like offices and doctors and what have you. And so you cannot get in unless you like ring a bell with an appointment for whatever. And we rang Margie's bell, and nobody's in, or they have the camera and they're like, these morons are there. I don't know. But it was so discouraging. But it was crazy. And I have somewhere, again, stuff I can't find, but somewhere, maybe it's in a journal or something like that, where I kind of transcribed as much as I could when I got off the phone because I was shaking. And also my infinite wisdom, I decided to do this at my job. So when I should have been doing other stuff, I decided I'm going to, again, shits and giggles, give Margie a call. And my coworker was working in the cubicle with me. She's like, like this lady's, because I told her who she was and what I was going to do and stuff like that. She said, yeah, you should do it. Kind of funny. But yeah, and I have more Margie stories coming up in the future and stuff, but I've never met her, which is very unfortunate. That was really my chance too. I mean, she was straight up feeding me information, and she was so nice about it, and just like, yeah, if you want to come by this, and she didn't say like you'll meet her or anything like that. She just like, this is what I'm doing this week and such. So if you're in town, and I said, no, we can't be there. I'm working and we're not going to be there till X time. Oh, okay, well, let me know when you're in town and stuff, and then So she's probably busy. I mean, Stevie's about to go on tour. She's going for the final fittings and such. And, as we all know, Margie's worked with Neil Diamond and another plenty of famous people, but Gloria Gaynor, can't think of lady's name, Roberta Flack, somebody. And she's done so much, so she's constantly working. It's not just with Stevie, but we all know her best, with the amazing clothes that she's done with Stevie. So, yeah, so that was that. That's my little story about Margie, and just again thinking about it because the clothing part here added in there and such. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me, listening to me. Bless your hearts, everybody who comes in and comments and stuff. I thank you so much, and I hope everybody has a great night. We'll see you next time. Bye.